So today we're giving you a sneak peek inside the greenhouse, and the focus of today is the Lantana topiaries. You may have come and bought some from me this year. Well, it sparked my imagination and creativeness to try and grow my own so that I didn't have to buy the finished ones and be limited by colors and things like that. I think it'd be really cool if I could make my own Lantana topiaries of different colors and sizes so they're not all the same. And here's what we have. So here's kind of where the plants are at now, and you can follow along, and I'll just kind of talk as I go along. My first step is to just check the soil, make sure there's no weeds. A lot of times they'll blow in, land on the soil, and start to grow, and you want to get them before the roots take over too much. Once the soil's clear, I'm going to put in a little support stake. I wish, if room wasn't an issue, I would, and I had plenty of greenhouse space, I would transplant these into their final pot and put the final pole in, and then I wouldn't have to do this again. But when you're dealing with limited space or large quantities, I can't go pot these into huge things and then heat them all winter. So I'd have to do this twice. It's a labor-intensive thing, but saves you money in the long run. So here we do with our stake. I'm going to bring my stem up, and this one's kind of rigid, so I'm going to move the stake. That way I'm not fighting the plant too much. We'll hold it against the stake, and then I just use a twisty tie. We wrap it around just like that. Now when I'm wrapping the twisty tie around the stem, I leave a big opening like that so that the stem can continue to grow and fill out. Because if you made that twisty tie too tight, there's no room for that stem to grow, and it can actually kill the plant. And now that I have this, because I want a topiary, I don't want a lantana bush, I'm going to pick off a lot of the green growth on the bottom. Now this is all the growth this plant has, so I'm not going to do it all because then I wouldn't leave enough leaves on the existing plant to continue to survive and grow. So I'm going to start small and just do something like that. The last step is any of these flowers. I don't want the plant putting any energy into flower production because while it is pretty to look at, it hampers the growth. Well, that's kind of what it should look like stage one. It's really important to stay on top of pruning them, because if you look, see how this one, now this is doing nice. It's growing nice and straight, just one stem, but then you look at this one and it's just really bushy, and it's not going to have that effect. So this is why it's important to stay on top of this every month or so. We'll go through and prune these. And there you have it. About an hour's worth of work, and we got them all done up. They look good. So let me bring it down. You can take a close look. Here we have them. All the ones that needed stakes. All the flowers are picked off. Well, that's the job for the day. Here's a planting I did a little bit earlier, so you can see how much. They're about double the size. So they're looking pretty good outside the yellow leaves, but it is winter. But outside of that, they look good. And there's the beginning of the Lantana topiaries that will hopefully be for sale in the spring. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I'll see you around.